Hi, everyone. Teresa Aker here from Success Diaries with Teresa Aker. It's my privilege to bring back Michael Edenbaum. How you doing, Michael?
How you doing, Teresa? It's wonderful to be back here. I really appreciate you asking me back.
You know what? Our viewers just love you. We're so humble, and you told your story about your parents and where you were doing when you were doing your wonderful. We had a trailer for your last one, the Stairway,
Right.
and you talked about your mom and dad and gosh in heaven, and people just love that warm spirit about you, Michael. So it was my pleasure to bring you back.
Thank you so much. And Teresa, forgive me. I think the last show I did, what was it? How many months ago? Do you have any idea?
I'm thinking it was about 6 months ago, Michael.
Okay, because at the time, I'm sad to say I lost my dad the last day of April.
No, you had lost your
Okay,
dad already. I
okay, I
apologize
couldn't.
for that.
Yeah, this must have been right after that, so I couldn't remember on that
It was
update.
because we talked about your dad watching you from heaven, hon.
Yeah, my mom and my dad. And
Yeah,
boy, they have been working overtime as my casting director because it has just been one opportunity after another. I've gotten two or three roles without even having to audition. And you know how that is for an actor, that's the dream.
the
So
goal.
they're working hard for me.
I know they are, Michael, but listen, let me tell you. So first, yes, your mom and dad, blessings to you and your family about all of that. But I want to come back to you, Michael, because honestly, I've been following you. You know that on social media.
Right.
I've been watching what you're doing. You are such a hard worker. You're working on so many projects and you're dedicated. And my goodness, you're an asset to anyone that's hiring you. So let's go to there. Let's talk about your projects because I know you're doing a lot.
And if you don't mind, I just want to divert just for a second on something you just said. I just wrapped my latest film called In God's Hands 2 days ago. And the one thing that I've always strived for is to have a reputation that this guy is just always positive and he's easy to work with and he's appreciative. And I hear that from executive producers and directors of photography. In fact, the director of photography, just a sweetheart of a man, sent me a personal note saying how much he just appreciated me being on set with the positivity. And again, I look at myself like this little kid that dreamed about being in the movies after seeing, and I told you this, after seeing Redford and Newman in Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. And of course, Redford just passed away recently, and he was one of the main reasons I became an actor. And I reached out to his daughter, sent her a note. I don't know if she'll ever see it. If you have the opportunity to influence somebody's life like he did for me, I just wanted to tell her thank you. And I am just living a dream. I wake up in the middle of the night like this cannot be real. And I think just because I'm so grateful every time I'm on set doing what I'm doing, that maybe the universe, that's what it's looking for, people that are grateful. And the more gratitude that you show, the more it comes back to you. And I know that's a very hallmark simplistic statement, but it seems to be proven to me scientifically, because it's just not normal to have as many roles as I'm getting. And I've got a lot of actor friends that tell me that. And I think I'm a good actor, but I don't think that I'm anything exceptional compared to a lot of the people that I work with. But yet something is working. So I've got so much gratitude. I can't even tell you. So, yeah, the last film was wrapped 2 days ago. I'm currently involved in four projects. This one, I got to play the bad guy.
Oh,
And that's always fun because on the other film, Anderson County, I'm very much the good guy, the knight in shining armor, special agent in charge. But on this, I'm the friendly guy that you would never guess was the front man for the cartel, and it's a child trafficking ring. And I can't really go too much into detail on what the movie's about, but it was really fun to play both ends of the spectrum. And it was a fun production. I got to work with a lot of actors I've worked with before. It'll probably be released, I would say, January, most likely. It was a great film to be a part of. I was offered the role without an audition because I've worked for this director. I've done two other films with him. And again, going back to what I said, when you appreciate what you got and you show that gratitude, on set. People remember that. There are a lot of sets where it's very negative and people are angry and there's a lot of egos involved. I never, ever will be that person. I don't care if I win 5 Academy Awards. I am going to be the humble guy that I always wanted to be. And I know that's what my mom and dad would want. So, yes, In God's Hands, look for it in about 3 months, maybe earlier, but somewhere in that area. Do you want me to keep going, Teresa, on the
Well,
next part?
I do, but here's the thing. First, I want to say, I want to just circle back a little bit. You are a terrific actor. So
Thank
there's
you.
no doubt in my mind and the viewers. So you don't even have to say that. Number two, there's no doubt. Absolutely. I know humbly that you're a spiritual person. I know honestly that you have just angels watching out after you because you're one of the
Uh,
good ones. I know that, Michael. And
Thank you.
then the next thing I wanted to say to you is, I know you're doing In God's Hands. Tell us now, is that, and help me out here, because you talked about a director. Is that the one you were talking about, the director for that one?
Yes, yes. I was in 2 other films, Dovey's Promise before this, true
Okay,
story about Dovey Roundtree in 1964, and
okay.
I was a DOJ prosecutor. And then before that, I had a small role as an FBI agent in a film called 3 Days or Else. So it's the same writer director for all
Could
three
we
films.
could we mention their names, Michael? Would that be all right? Give
Absolutely.
them a
Yeah.
little plug here.
Sure, it's Ralph Sinque,
Okay.
and he's out of Texas, Sinque, and he's just I owe him a lot. He gave me one of my first shots in a movie here in Austin, and whatever the movie is, he is devoted. He's a very particular director. You say instead of A, he says cut. And so you really have to be on your toes on that. Now, I did tell him I needed a few more weeks before we prepared, but we needed to rush the production a little bit. So we
Sure.
got through it. And he was very patient with me. I had to have a few takes on a few of the scenes. But yeah, there are certain people that come into your life. And I always tell people, whether it's a commercial or acting or whatever, do it because that will lead to the next thing, which will lead to the next. Don't wait. Oh, you know what? This isn't really in my ballpark. I don't really like the writing. I don't really, you know what? If you're an actor, you act. That's what Michael Caine famously said. And it's so true. Yeah, Ralph is a great guy. And he gave me one of my first shots. And I'm full of gratitude for that.
Perfect. And the writer that you were talking about? That's
Writer
Ralph,
and
sorry.
director.
So
Yeah,
the director and the writer. Okay, I want to make
correct.
sure I had them both. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we can move forward to the next one because I wanted to be able to mention them on here, Michael. You're all working so hard in the industry. So I don't mind. I like to mention people who are working hard.
I
And
love that. I love that. And you know what's funny? Texas is becoming a huge production for films. In fact, a lot of people from LA are moving to Texas. We've got the 1.5 billion tax incentive, but mostly we've got just a ton of talent here in Texas.
sure.
And I end up working with the same people, not always, but a lot of the same people, whether it's the crew, actors, or hair and makeup, or whatever. You see the same family again. And certainly in this film, the guy that was co-producing it, and by the way, I want to mention the producer of In God's Hands. Her name is Michelle Lipscomb, and she has
Michelle
done a
Lipson?
Lipscomb. Uh,
Lipscomb. Got it. Thank you.
yeah, Lipscomb, Lipscomb, I believe. And she's also producing or helping to produce the next film that I'm going to talk about. So I have these people that are in one film and then I see them in the next films. After God's Hands, my next scene in Anderson County, where I played the special agent in charge, a true story about a game warden that was killed in 1951 in East Texas, Palestine. He was accused of being killed by a poacher, a black poacher, and a white game warden. And you can imagine the racism back in 1951 in Texas. And so I played the big city special agent in charge flying in from Austin. I'll give away just a tiny bit. I hope it's okay. But my character is introduced flying in on a bi-wing plane. I think we're going to do that. It's not
Oh,
100%, but it's an open cockpit bi-wing plane. And
oh
what's
my goodness.
interesting is my grandfather used to fly those back in the day. He knew somebody who knew Charles Lindbergh or worked with Charles Lindbergh. And there's this picture of my grandfather in front of this old bi-wing plane. And so I figure this one scene will be a tribute to him and Redford, who was in The Great Waldo Pepper.
Sure,
For
absolutely.
any of us old enough to see that movie. But so to be introducing my character flying in, and it's not CGI, it's not AI. I'm really going to be on the plane if it happens and if I live through it. But yeah, that's how my character is introduced. And the guy that also helped produce under Michelle, a guy named Chris Siegler, is the executive producer and the writer of Anderson County. So he had a part in God's Hands. He was a big tough guy. He had a big fight scene. So he is now doing this film, which I'm a part of. And it's a family. So Anderson County, even though it's an independent film, it is, I think it's the biggest period piece film being done in Texas right now.
Oh,
And it will be in the theaters. This is going to be, when you watch it, you'll think it's a $10 million movie. We have so much support for this movie. We've been filming for what, 6, 7, 8 months. So we've got another 3 or 4 months at least left to film. And then you will see it in theaters next year. So I'm
that's
very proud of
fantastic.
that. So I get to play a really bad guy and a really good guy. So it's really fun living the dream.
I'm so excited for you. I can hardly wait to see all of this, Michael. I've been actually following you along, as I said, and I know that you've done little clips and showed us what you're doing along the way. And I love that
Right.
because you get to see your progression. So thank you for doing that.
Yeah, and wherever I am, if somebody says, "What do you do for a living?" It's okay, you better sit down because I'm going to talk for an hour.
Yeah.
And then that's when you know you are, as my dad used to say, you are where you're supposed to be.
Yes.
And I talk about it not out of ego. I want to stress that because I'm not bragging when I talk about it. I
Oh,
talk
no.
about it like I can't believe I get to do this. And I'm excited about it. And people have told me that, like, yeah, your eyes just light up. So I want to make that very clear. When I go on and ramble, it's not ego at all. It's gratitude and it's almost disbelief. Oh my God, I'm an astronaut. I'm floating in space. This is what I've always dreamed of. And that's how I look at what I'm doing. Every time I'm on set, it's like I'm in Disneyland. So yeah, and also I've made a lot of contacts, whether they're investors or other projects, just by sitting at a restaurant or and talking to the person next to you, and they ask what you're doing, and then they say, you know what, I know somebody that may want to invest in that. I think that's the one thing that a lot of actors don't do enough of is networking. And I look at every opportunity as a chance to network.
When you say you don't want to brag, this is where you're supposed to brag, Michael. That's what I'm here for. I
That's
want to
true.
promote you. This is all about you. So think of this. We're prepping you for the red carpets, Michael.
There you go. I like that. Manifest.
Right?
In fact, I have, you don't know this, but in front of my fireplace, I have a gold Oscar. And obviously it's not real yet, but I put on there Michael Edenbaum, Best Actor.
I
And
love
I'm
it.
projecting Jim Carrey wrote that $1 million check to himself, which
Yes.
he eventually got. I really, and there's a couple of movies where that's not so far off. Actually, one movie for sure. So yeah, I project what I want. You become what you think about every waking minute. And I see that as a possibility. Why not? Why not shoot for that?
Why not
What's the
you,
worst
Michael?
thing? Why not me? You know what? That's right. I've been through a lot. And if there's anything having to do with appreciation, I think the universe will be kind to me. And the main motivation is whatever award, if I win, to look up in the sky and say, Mom, Dad, are you watching this? Can you believe this? That's where my motivation comes from.
That's fantastic. So, Michael, continue on to the other projects. So we've gone over a few, but I know you still have
Yeah.
more in the works. Talk to us, continue on. And it is your moment, my friend. I want to hear
Thank
all
you.
about it. Our viewers
Thank
want to
you.
hear all about it.
So the next project, I was speaking at an event and talking about the other projects that I had done. This was about, oh, maybe 6 months ago. And I walk off, and this guy with a cowboy hat and the dark mustache says, "You're Will." And no, I'm Michael. No, you're the guy I've been looking for, the lead role for a pilot that I'm writing. And it's called Dead Wives Club. Not everybody thinks the Dead Wives Club because that's a production that's been done.
Yeah.
No, totally different. Just
Okay.
has 3 words, Dead Wives Club. And he offered me the role right after I walked off. And he told me, he gave me the elevator pitch. And it's, oh my God, this thing is going to be huge. This is Breaking Bad. This is Alfred Hitchcock. This is Fargo, all put together.
Oh,
It's
wow.
Coen brothers. And I'll just give you the quick pitch.
Sure.
I'm a normal good guy. I'm not extraordinary, but I'm not bad either. I'm married, thought I was happily married. And then in the last few months, my wife is acting more and more suspicious,
Mm.
and I'm getting more and more paranoid. And then I start drinking, and then I start day drinking. And I'm
Oh,
sitting in this bar, and this stranger overhears me talking about suspicion of my wife. And he says, I think I can take care of your problem. One hand washes the other, and he hands me this card. And the audience doesn't know who he is or what. And then you see me dialing a number, and the voice on the other side, do you agree to the terms? And I say, and there's a lot of cursing in this, but all right, F it. Yeah, let's do it. And he says, all right, so go out to your mailbox. Underneath, there's an envelope. Open it up. And I go out there. Next scene, you see me open and pull out this picture of this pretty lady, and this packet with this white pill falls out. Then you see me driving and following this car. You think it's my wife, but you don't know. And I follow her to this country dance hall, and I'm watching her, and you could just see how nervous, and I'm a good guy. What am I doing?
yeah.
And the guy she's with gets up, goes to the bathroom. I get up my nerve. I walk over. I drop this white pill in her drink, and I go to the restroom. And I look in the mirror, and I'm sweating and white, and I throw up. And then I throw up again. And as I gain my composure, I walk out, and you hear, call 911. And you know what just happened.
Yeah.
And then you see me frantically driving home. I get home, and I'm just out of breath. And then I hear scuffling at my front door, and my wife's voice, and a
Oh,
man. And I'm thinking, oh my God, this is it. I'm going to catch her cheating on me. She comes in. Oh, Will, I'm so glad you're here. And she's with my best friend. Now, honey, I want you to sit down. Something to tell you. I know we've been acting weird these last couple of months, but we've been planning your birthday present, a
oh,
trip to blah, blah, blah.
oh.
Oh, so you see me. Oh, how nice. And then I go into the bathroom, and I look for that card, and I dial the number. This number has now been disconnected.
Oh,
So now the law is after me because I just killed that lady at the dance hall. There's a hitman coming after. My wife doesn't know this, and bam, the episode ends. That's how the pilot ends. So you can
oh, Michael, I
imagine
love
where
it.
this thing could go on for years. And
I
then
love it.
maybe I become the stranger. We're trying to talk to Billy Bob Thornton or a
Oh,
few
he'd
other
be
big
great in
hitters.
that one.
Yeah, yeah, and it's just a matter of scheduling and getting to them and all the money and all that.
Do you want me to call
Um,
him, Michael? No, I'm kidding.
Absolutely. Maybe he's watching your show right now. Billy Bob, reach
Come
out to
on.
me. And he knows Donnie, the guy that wrote it, who used to play with Willie Nelson, and he's a big time musician, plays all over the world. He's a hell of a writer, and he knows these guys. He
Oh,
knows a
isn't
lot of
that
the
something?
actors. Yeah, and then another thought may have been Matthew McConaughey or possibly Woody Harrelson. But this thing, each episode is like a new movie,
Yeah.
and the suspense behind it, the Fargo, the Breaking Bad. I'm a good guy. What am I doing? And my wife
Right.
doesn't know. And
And
so
you know what's
that,
relatable is we've all been in those moments where we could have done something against our
yes,
norm or our moral,
yeah,
right? And like
exactly.
doing this push me, pull you idea. So we've all been there, haven't we?
Yeah, and you can imagine the next day I'm driving with my wife. She has no idea what's coming. I'm looking in the mirror, constantly looking over my shoulder. Is that the guy? Is that the guy? Is that the, or is that the log?
Yeah, yeah.
It's going to leave. And I'll give you a little bit of a secret. When Donnie told me about this, I said, I'll do it, but I want us to have a recipe. And I take it from great series like Breaking Bad. I want two or three moments in every episode where the audience member thinks to themselves or says out loud, even better, wow, I did not see that coming.
Oh,
If
that'd be
we can do
awesome.
that, then we're in. So we are looking for the pilot to do the proof of concept. It's not much at all. We're Stairway, we're looking for 10 million. We're looking for $30,000. So if anybody wants to help come produce what I believe is going to be huge, we're looking for 30,000. So get in touch with me, and we can set up a meeting and talk about how you get your money back and what you can make and all of that stuff. So yeah, that's one that I'm really excited about.
Oh, it sounds amazing. I love it
Yeah.
already.
Yeah, yeah. Donnie's in Europe right now playing. He's going to be back from Europe, I think, in about a week or so. And then he's got some people that may want to invest in it. But this thing is going to, there's no guarantees, obviously. When you do a pilot, you never know. But this is about as close as it gets, where
It
I
sounds
don't see,
amazing.
yeah, I don't see how this could fail. So anybody that jumps in on this at the beginning, I think is going to be very happy. The next thing, which happened about a week and a half ago, I get a message and it says, I would like you to be a part of another series, a comedy. And it's okay, let's do the trifecta. And so I was offered it's an ensemble cast, an
Okay.
ensemble comedy pilot that we're doing, and it's called Stickler Lake Resort.
Stickler
And
Lake Resort.
yeah, like you're a
Okay.
stickler for details.
Yeah.
Stickler Lake Resort, a comedy sitcom pilot, and it is going to be the next Reservoir Dogs. If you ever
Oh,
watch it, done by Native Americans.
yeah,
So
yeah.
this is all being executive produced by Native Americans,
Oh,
are,
that's
are are
awesome.
put together by Native American actors. And here's the funny part about the whole family. The executive producer, Teresa, is the guy that is the executive producer for Stairway, the
No
Holocaust film.
way. Oh, that's
Yeah, so
fantastic.
he knows me, he knows, what I'm capable of. And
Yeah.
then they also cast one of my best friends as my wife. And
Oh, nice.
so I am Mark Stickler of Stickler Lake Resort, and it is very much an ensemble, quirky characters. It's going to be really fun. And again, all by Native American actors.
Oh, that's nice.
And I think it's going to be very big, the Choctaw tribe. And I think it'll be shot in Dallas, I believe, but it'll appear to be on a reservation either in Oklahoma or Mississippi. I think
Sure.
Oklahoma. And it is going to be a very, in my opinion, popular series. And it's got just so much room to grow. So, again, just so grateful. This came out of the sky. And then another friend of mine, who the lady that's doing the casting, she's best friends with a guy that I'm really good friends with. And I was in a movie 3 days or else as an FBI agent, which I just talked about. So if I had not been friends with him and met her, you see how this whole Kevin
Yes,
Bacon thing.
yes.
So that's why I say network wherever you are, whether it's the grocery store, a restaurant, a bar, friends, whatever, because you just never know where it leads. Those are just a few of the things I'm doing right now.
That, Michael, congratulations. And I keep coming back to the fact that you are truly talented. You have a big
Thank you.
heart, and your whole character just shines. That's why people say you're the guy. You're that
Thank
guy.
you. I
Yeah.
appreciate that. And hopefully more than two or three people feel the same way.
Oh, I'm sure they all do. Now, Michael, we talked before where you see yourself in 5 years, and the last time you weren't doing all of this. So, in 5 years, where are we going to be? Am I going to see on the big screen everywhere? What's the plan?
Yeah, I think Anderson County may be my breakout. That's going to be on the big screens. It's going to be a really very successful film. And I can't really give you too much detail, Teresa, but I got a call or a message from the guy that's helping me fund the 10 million, or helping me find the 10
Sure.
million for Stairway, which you showed the trailer on my last
I
episode with
did.
you, which I so appreciate. And this, again, I told you before, this is the film that is deepest in my soul, because my family, being Jewish, the
Beautiful.
Holocaust, and I think we've had people in our family that experience that. I know, sounds really out there, but I think in a past life I was there. I have never felt so strong when I went to a Holocaust museum, when I saw Schindler's List. It literally physically affected me like I was watching home movies. Jerry, the guy that helped open the Irish consulate here in Austin, he has just a really great Irish accent, which I'm trying to learn. And he told me yesterday that we've got somebody very interested, and we may be getting a very interesting call in the next couple of weeks. And he's got some people that are A-listers that he's friends with. He's just a big player. Let's just put it that way. Where do I see myself in 5 years after Anderson County, and if Stairway takes off? You know what? I don't know. And that's what's the most beautiful thing in the universe, as Einstein said, is the mysterious. I don't really want to know, because so far the stuff that's been falling in my lap is, oh my God, this is better than anything I could have come up with. So I'd rather the universe just surprise me, because I'm open, willing, and ready.
Michael, I agree with you so much. When I asked that, it's surprising because a lot of people don't know where they're going to be in 5 years. And I asked that for that reason to see if they start thinking that way or where their direction is and so forth. But you're right. Sometimes it's a matter of, you know what? I'm going with the flow. I want to see where
Yeah.
it goes next, and I'm open and ready to receive whatever it is I'm supposed to have. And I think that's just a fine answer, Michael.
Absolutely. I read an article recently on manifestation, and there are certain things you can do to make it occur, and other things it can repel. And it was very interesting. They said if you are so hell bent on, I want an Academy Award, I want it so bad, then you almost create a polar opposite, like two
Yeah.
magnets. So if you take on the attitude, quote, it's no big deal, then it opens up to the universe that allows it to come to you. So I look at stuff, I think about it for a second or two. It's, yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, let's do that. And then move on. And since I've been doing that, things have started happening. I don't know why, but it's an interesting thing. And I'm not going to question it. And so that's my mantra at this point.
I think you're right. I also follow a lot of the motivational things, and I do
Right.
motivational speaking as well. And the manifestation side, you're absolutely right, 100%. I have found in life, if I say, that'd be really nice, it would be great to have it. However, if it happens, if it doesn't, that seems to really make it happen as opposed to trying to force it. And why isn't this happening? And
Yeah.
why me? And so I agree with you, Michael. And as you've gone with the flow, look at everything that's happening for you.
And that's true. And I'll just share this. I had one of those moments right before we connected. And I thought, wouldn't that be funny if Dead Wives Club, it was a Canadian investor. And by the way, I love Canada, the
Thank you.
attitude you guys have.
We love our American friends too.
Yeah, yeah, I am so pro Canada, and I'll leave it at that.
Thank
But I thought, wouldn't that be funny if somebody, because you've got a lot of people in the industry there, we
you.
have a lot of talent that has made it very big, and I think I just got this feeling somebody in Canada is going to invest in Dead Wives Club, and I can promise you, this is one of 15, 20 projects. Whoever goes with me on the beginning is going to have a hell of a ride, because now I have other people, multi-million dollar projects, saying, hey, can you help me produce it?
Oh,
So
good.
if somebody wants to get on this train, this is a good entry level. $30,000 for a pilot that has a potential to do what this can do is like $5.
Yeah.
And I could ask for 100 grand, but all we need is 30 to make this pilot really good. I'm never going to be greedy. Everybody's going to do well. And I think that's the kind of person that I'm looking for to invest. So I'm shooting it out to you, Canada, for what it's worth.
Our Canadian viewers are watching, and you know what? That's good. It's good that you mentioned that. So here's the other thing that I've certainly all about promoting our actors all over the world. And we certainly do love our American actors too. Canada has a tremendous amount of talent as
Yeah,
well.
they
But
do.
you're right, Michael. It's just doing the show in two different countries. You're in America and I'm in Canada. We're always putting out there and broadcasting. And that's what we're talking about, isn't it? It's the energy and the spirit and the kindness and the goodness getting resonated out there, and the vibration goes out, the vibration comes back. And as long as it's good
Absolutely.
vibration, it all works out, doesn't it?
You're right. And we are supposed to be here having fun. In my
Yeah.
opinion, life is supposed to be, you're on this vacation and you're trying all these wonderful things. I always compare, try all the flavors of the ice cream. Don't just stick
Yeah.
with chocolate or whatever. And so I look at this as, I'm only here for a few minutes. I'm going to try to have as much fun as I can. And when times are down, that too shall pass, and you're going to go through it. So you might as well go through it reaching for the most unrealistic dream you can come up with, because look what happened to me. And I am no one special. I can tell you that. It can happen to anybody. And I think if you bring that positive energy and you ask people questions about themselves, and you try to learn, everybody's got a story. You can learn from everybody, and don't always make it about yourself. It took me a lot of years to figure that out. It's all, what about me? What about me? Now it's, you know what? I'm just grateful. If my life ended tomorrow, I would have a smile on my face from what I got to experience, but it's not going to end tomorrow. Let's make that clear.
Oh no, you're
Okay.
going to be here a long time. We want to see
Yeah.
you for a long time.
Thank you. Thank you. I want to be here.
No, Michael, you know what? You're humble, you're quite a gentleman, you're a wonderful person. You've been working hard, and don't negate that. You certainly have been working hard. So although those are offered to you, you have to do the work ultimately.
True.
So there's definitely 100%. And from the work you're doing, the people that are out there watching you, they're saying that guy's got it. He's got it. So,
Thank you for
and which
that.
is why I wanted you to come back, because I'm all about promoting people that are working really hard, trying to make it in the world and whatever it takes. I'm humbly grateful to just be a small part of it, Michael, to help you out.
You, you're more than a small part of it. And again, there are certain people that come into your life and they make such a positive impact. And it's an old saying that you can tell a person's character by how you feel when you walk away from them. And every time I see you, you're always so kind. Every time I put out something, there's Teresa within one or two. Great job, Michael, and all that. And I walk away from you with a smile every single time. And I want you to know that's not BS. That's not trying to brown nose or to gain anything. I don't want anything, but what you're doing and the way you make people feel is exceptional. And I just want you to know how much I appreciate it.
Thank you, Michael. I appreciate that. We're all trying to do our best and we all support each other, and the positivity matters. I've always been a positive person, but one of the big things I will tell you when I did this show was to promote people who are genuine, who are really trying out there. And whatever I could do in a small way to help you, my friend, you deserve it. I have one more question for you, Michael.
Okay.
We talked before the show. I
Yep.
can't always have people back because we have a lot of people that come on the
Sure.
show. But I have a few regulars that we've been following along. And humbly, I wonder if you'll come back again and maybe a few more times on my show and keep us updated and keep sending your projects that you're working on and let us keep promoting you. Would that be all right, Michael?
That would be better than all right. And yes, yes. So
Thank you.
it would be a thrill for me. And it also gives me a little bit of motivation. It's okay, I'm going to be on Teresa's show again. I better have a lot to talk about.
We're going to be
Yeah.
expecting some big stuff.
Yeah. And then maybe someday I'm starting, this is a little personal, but I'm starting to date a little more now because I was just working and working. My mom and dad, as I told you, were the most in love couple that I have ever known. And my dad said, "You're never going to have the amount of time." They had 58 years together. But he said, "Michael, whatever you do have, it'll fill a lifetime." So I'm starting to put it out to the universe. I'd like to meet somebody. At some point, maybe I'll be saying, "Guess what? Sandra Bullock and I are dating."
I like Sandra
Just
Bullock.
yeah,
I
that
can get
I
into
had a
that.
crush on her.
Listen,
So
there's no doubt in my mind the wonderful relationship that you're looking for is out there for you. And there's no doubt in my mind the lovely lady will be arriving very soon for you. I
the
think
main
that's
thing is
wonderful.
I love what I do and it's not work. And I'm just happy. What a great place to be to actually genuinely say, especially after losing my dad, I didn't know if I could find my missing smile again.
Yeah.
And I have because I know that's what he and my mom would want.
Yeah.
And I want to have a bunch of stories. So when I do see them again, did you see all that stuff? I want
And
to
they're
be
going to
have
say,
that
yes, we
moment.
did, son. We were there
Yeah.
right beside you.
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you, Teresa, for all that you do.
My pleasure, my friend. So everyone, this is Michael Edenbaum. I'm going to make sure all his information here, all those projects he worked on already, projects he's doing now, and anything in the future, we're going to have him back. So do go over to all his social media. I'll have it here for you and follow along. And any investors that are interested, you can call him directly or you can ask me and I'm happy to get the message to Michael. So thank you again, Michael.
Thank you very much, Teresa. Hope you have a wonderful day.
You as well. And to everyone else, this is Teresa Aker from Success Diaries with Teresa Aker. Do subscribe to my channel. I truly appreciate that. I hope you're all having a great day, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Bye-bye now.